All right, Kara, it's time now for Better Law. I love the music. We are so happy to be joined now by attorney Lawyer Twillie. So good to see you, attorney Lawyer Twillie.
Great to see you guys as well. How are you?
Excellent.
Excellent. We've gotten a chance to talk to you on Facebook Live at some times, and now we're happy to have you back. But it's an interesting time. Fall is picking up. People are getting busier and more people on the road. I assume that means a little bit more on the accident department. And you have an interesting perspective because once upon a time, your first career was you started working for an insurance company.
Yes. My first real job out of college was with a major insurance company. I started out on the sales side and then on the service side, and then eventually landed a job as a BI adjuster.
What's that?
And a BI adjuster stands for bodily injury adjuster. So if you were involved in a car accident and you claimed an injury, you or your lawyer they were calling me and talking to me. And, it was interesting. It was very interesting. Let's just put it that way. But it helped me, helped put me on the path to where I am today. So I'm very grateful for that.
If you're in a car accident, what is there a criteria that you should be in touch with an attorney? Some people will say, oh, I don't want to get in touch with an attorney. But other people are like, I definitely am going to get an attorney. Is there like a threshold?
I would say back in the day there was a threshold, but nowadays I really think that the sooner the better. And just to kind of give you like a little glimpse into my history as a BI adjuster. So best of my recollection, we trained for about 30 days and I was licensed in, I think like 11, 13 states. I think Maryland, Virginia, obviously Connecticut and the New England states. But you train for about 30 days and the vast majority of that training time was spent on, in fact, I remember it was about 2 weeks we spent training on how to take recorded statements. We spent zero time on how to evaluate and put a number, assign a value to a claim, but they spent a whole lot of time teaching us how to take statements. I won't say manipulate information, but sort of how to steer a conversation a certain way. And so I think over time, we've gotten to the point where it's probably better sooner rather than later that you contact a lawyer. Because listen, insurance adjusters, for the most part, they're there working for the insurance companies. That's their job. It was my job. And they're not there looking out for your best interest, period. That's just not the case. In fact, yesterday I met with a gentleman who, after almost 2 weeks of dealing with the insurance company, threw up his hands and said, you know what, I'm going to get a lawyer. And he's been without a rental car for a couple of weeks. He's having to borrow rides from friends to get to and from work, taking Ubers, racking up expenses. So sooner rather than later, I think, is the trend nowadays. It wasn't always that way about 20 years ago, but nowadays, definitely, you should get in sooner rather than later.
Okay.
The other thing, which is good advice if you're getting a car accident, the other thing that's popping up, we're starting to see more stories and even advertisements asking, did you get COVID at work? And that seems to be something new in the legal arena. Is there something that people need to be aware of if they are an essential worker and they end up getting sick with COVID as far as their legal rights?
That's a very interesting question. It's a great question. Just like pretty much everything involving COVID nowadays, it's sort of evolving on a daily basis. Let's just put it that way. I know that there is some legislature, at least, or some sort of executive order that might be coming down the pike, or the legislature is working on trying to cover essential workers that may have contracted COVID while on the job. But from a legal standpoint, I know that it also might be difficult to prove that you actually contracted coronavirus while on the job.
Yeah.
Maybe you contracted it while having a family dinner with, whomever. So it's just, how do you prove that? I know it's a fluid situation at this point, but I think those are some of the issues that the lawmakers are trying to work out at this point in time. And I don't know that it's been fully worked out.
All right. Unfortunately, we're out of time, Lawyer, but it's always good to talk to you. To contact Lawyer, you can call him at 844-GET-LA-LAW or go online to lalawct.com. Thank you, Lawyer. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's always great to visit with you both. Take care and be safe.
You too.
Thank you.